Women are trust fund babies, men are self-made millionaires, so therefore we don't play by the same set of rules. I don't go to the club and fuck bitches. I've earned that right. You go to the club and you want to do, oh, I want to do single girl shit, whatever. That does not necessarily mean that a guy's going one take it seriously.
Oh, scary. Oh, shiver my timbers. Shut up, man.
How is it that we got like billions of women all across the world, but the streets are still dirty? What are women supposed to do? Cook and clean, right? Why is it that all the best chefs are men? Why is it that men run all the sanitation companies and operate all the sewage to keep the world nice and clean and sanitized? That's a woman's job. Their job is to make food and clean, and they can't even do that.
Oh my God, bro.
Oh, hell no, man. What the fuck, man? Get your ass on.
A lot of guys don't realize this, but the red pill is literally raising them more than their parents ever did. And that's not even the craziest part, because they swear that they're free thinkers while repeating the same recycled talking points that the algorithm fed them. And it feels like young men across the world, so not just in the US, in the UK as well, are finally starting to wake up and understand this. And start to realize that maybe the red pill isn't the one solution that they were looking for. And it was exactly what they were told it was, a grift.
If women didn't have vaginas, we wouldn't care. No one would talk to them.
I wouldn't say that, because that's like half the population. You just like dehumanizing half the population with that statement.
I mean, well, it's the reality. We're put on Earth to procreate. So men, our job is to provide resources. Their job is to extract resources. And it's been this way since the beginning of time.
Do me a favor, please. Get out of here. Get out of here, man. Shit, I'm saying.
But don't take my word for it. Let me show you exactly what I mean in these videos. One from a guy that finally woke up, and another that shows you just how deep this actually runs. All right, so let's start with the guy that was pulled into the isolated teen to red pill pipeline.
You start out, you're just like, hey, we just want to be better with dating. We just want better social skills, right? And then before you know it, you're talking about like women are dogs and you need to train them. When I was 17, I fell down the red pill pipeline and I managed to get myself out about 5 years later. The term red pill comes from the movie The Matrix. So it's basically saying that you have a truth or knowledge no one else seems to have. They would say that society is gynocentric, which means that society caters to women, that women only want the top 20% of guys. And this isn't true. I would say at 17, I was socially awkward, very introverted. I felt I was ugly in high school. So I went on YouTube and looked up tips regarding dating and women. It eventually led me down this deep, dark hole.
See, this is where it starts for a lot of guys. We struggle in our lives. For example, like this guy, he feels lonely, depressed, had low self-esteem, he thought he was ugly. And then this is where they get you. When you're in your vulnerable position as a young guy who doesn't know what's going on in the world, you're looking for answers because, you know, life isn't treating you well. And then these guys come up to you. It's almost like a random salesman on the street, like, oh mate, yeah, if you just take, you know, this red pill, all your problems will be answered. And it's such bullshit. But when you're a young kid like this, you don't know better. Like, you got no experiences, you're just trying to figure stuff out. So I completely get it.
I was able to kind of take the weight of blame off of myself. Like, actually, women are the ones in control. You're actually the victim in this situation. It's a very appealing thing to be the victim. I didn't view it as like...
Okay, see, there we go as well. This is victim mentality. This is what it is. Because let's be honest, man, when you're a young guy and life is treating you like shit, you feel like a victim already. So when guys are telling you, you know what, you are a victim, and you know who's the enemy? Women. Women are the ones that are making you, that are victimizing you. They're the ones that are in control. They're the ones that have the power. And they're the ones that are making you feel bad about yourself. And slowly as a guy, you start to become more and more misogynistic and angry towards women because you've been told that they are your oppressors, which is, I think, is an insane concept in general, like to actually suggest that women are somehow monopolizing the world. Like, there's not really much evidence to back that up, but if you're a young guy who's very impressionable, you might believe that, especially if you're down bad. Why not?
I've got to put them down type of thing. Like, it was saying that, hey, we understand why you feel bad. If you just learn what we have to give you, you'll be the one winning here soon. Before you know it, you're commenting, you're reading more of it, but at the same time, you're distrustful of the women around you. You're distrustful of people around you because you think they don't know what you know. It just degrades your own mental health. You start, without even realizing it, isolating yourself. I actually felt really embarrassed if people caught me, which kind of is a telltale sign that's probably you should be watching it.
Definitely. Again, see, what it does, it pushes you more into isolation, because when you're isolated, you don't have other people around you to kind of like almost be like a mirror to you. You're open to just be indoctrinated with this stuff, especially if you've got no one to like give you counterpoints or kind of suggest different ways of viewing stuff. And this is what they do. They prey on young, isolated men, cause them to be more isolated by basically telling that everyone is against you. You can't trust women, you can't trust other men. Like, you're here to compete with other men, and women are here to try and extract resources from you.
One of the two ways we stop emotions in our body is raise our chin, which is why a definition, say, of narcissism that some people have for narcissism is basically not being able to feel your emotions. And you'll notice that, like, when someone's acting like a narcissist in a movie, they'll put their chin up. It's kind of part of the deal. The other one is holding the jaw. It's like keeping the jaw tight. That's another one that people use to not feel emotions.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Then you just live in defense mode, and it creates more of this instability in your life because you're now living from a place of like survival where you don't trust no one around you, and therefore you're not going to really open up or be vulnerable with anyone, and again makes you a better target for them. It's fucked. It really is fucked.
I first started questioning my beliefs when I went through a breakup. Me and a friend of mine, we went to a cabin party. I started crying in front of one of the girls who I liked there. This girl responded rather with like shame and disgust that the red pill told me that they would react. She was actually like really kind about it. And that kind of made me think, what if I'm wrong? And then afterwards...
There we go. What if I'm wrong? That is the one thing the red pill does not even consider. They don't consider that their beliefs might be wrong. They think that it's reality, and they convince young men like this that it's reality, that you can't question this stuff, that it's just facts, because they use like stats and logic to try and, you know, which we all know like guys are more drawn to, and they try and use that to kind of manipulate your brain and make you believe things, when in reality, as a young man just said, he was vulnerable in front of a girl, and did she go ooh, disgusting? No, she saw him as a human and you know, empathized with him. And that is the undertone of all of this shit, man. The red pill tries to teach you that there's no empathy, or empathy is weakness, and that women don't have empathy. It's insane. If you have any experience with women, not to be some sort of white knight or simp or anything, but let's be honest, man, women are very empathetic compared to guys, like, generally speaking. So the fact that they try to indoctrinate you by thinking that women aren't empathetic and they will make fun of you, of course it does happen in reality, but that isn't the type of person that you'd want to be involved with, someone who's going to ridicule you for being emotional. Like, just because those people exist doesn't mean that they are the majority or they should be focused on. And at the end of the day, a lot of the time the solution is to go and have real life experiences like this young man had.
And then afterwards, I was bar hopping with a group of guys, and a few of them were red pilled. It was the first time actually meeting other red pill guys, and I could just kind of see how bitter and angry they were. There was this one guy, and he was trying to do pickup techniques. It was obvious that the girls weren't liking it at all, but he kept getting more and more aggressive. I'm like, is this how I see the world? And it kind of disgusted me. I feel very guilty and ashamed, because it's just like, you really thought that, man? Like, this is totally unnuanced. The reason I say it's compared to a cult, they don't like outsiders. They don't like outside thought. A lot of the comments started also sounding the same too. There was no original thought. There's a lot of, you guys make me feel like I'm at home, complaining about women, reappeal the 19th. That's the amendment that allows women to vote. There was a lot of rage. I have a mom, I have women friends.
Again, man, again. For a group of people that are supposed to be logical thinkers, that are, you know, running off pure logic and facts, they seem to be extremely emotional, especially online. You see so many of these red pill guys that are just angry in comments. Like, they're the same people that watch these blue head feminist gets owned by Top G or that kind of stuff. They love that kind of stuff.
Oh my God, bro.
Oh, hell no, man. What the fuck, man? Get your ass on.
Because it's all ego-based. It's just feeding off like this repetitive almost mantra of like, okay, man good, woman bad, man good, woman bad. And they just kind of put it in different colors and flavors, but it's the same product, it's the same thing you're eating. And again, as you said, like, they want to isolate you and take you away from other people who think differently, because they know that the antidote to their illusion is reality, is literally connection, talking to people.
Women friends, so it would be kind of like, I don't want to take away their rights. And then over time they got really disgusting. I don't feel comfortable saying some of the other stuff I saw, just vile, misogynistic comments. That was another thing that helped me realize my beliefs in the red pill were wrong. When I first started to decide to actively stop watching red pill content, it was like flooding my feed. I would just click not interested, not interested. But regardless, they just kept appearing over and over. So yeah, it took me roughly about a year. I'm on ex-red pill forums to help other people out like I would have helped me out. Helping others too is kind of maybe a way of like rectifying it. So something I wish that someone would told me when I was in the red pill, not everyone who tells you that you're right is your friend. I feel like content creators in the red pill, they don't believe sincerely what they say, and they're only saying it to get money and time out of you. Feminism is not bad. It's required in today's society. Also,
you know what, shout out to this guy, man. The level of personal accountability and growth here, I love it. We love to see it. We love to see it. And again, as you were saying, like, a lot of the rhetoric in like the red pill space is just anger and hatred. There's not really any like positivity to it. It's all just like, this is the enemy. like, let's all just shit on them. There's no like reflection or taking in other points of view or having actual nuanced discussion. It's just our way of life is the right one. Our way of thinking is correct. Whoever doesn't think this way, they're a simp, or they're a beta. All these like words to try and like just deflect from the actual points that people can make against what they believe in. It's hilarious. But yeah, shout out to this guy, man. But let's get on to the second video, because I want to show you how, you know, we think that this sort of ideology is like just a small little subsection or belief, but it's spreading. It's spread like wildfire, because this poll in the UK just shows that even, you know, England isn't like innocent in this whole red pill space. A lot of young guys in the UK are fully indoctrinated with it. Let me show you.
There's a post I saw on Instagram today from Dazed Media about the State of Men UK report, or the State of UK Men, where they surveyed over 2,100 UK men and women aged between 18 and 45 to provide data-driven insight into the state of masculinity in the UK. This post obviously had the highlights, the highlighted stats, and so obviously after seeing it, I was like, well, we're gonna go to the main event. We're gonna go find that report, we're gonna read that report, and we're gonna go through the stats together. The major one that was on Dazed was 1 in 4 men believe that no one will ever love them or ever fall in love with them. The study revealed high levels of anti-feminist statement amongst UK men, with 50% endorsing red pill misogynistic rhetoric. 48% of the men surveyed agreed with the statement, I would have to change too much about myself, such as values and my behaviors, to make serious relationships work long term.
Okay, let's unpack some of that. So firstly, I know that this is quite a small sample size. I think it's around 2,000 to 3,000 people. But yeah, let's deal with what's in front of us. So to say that in the UK, roughly, half of guys that were surveyed believe in the red pill, basically, let's say that. How did this happen? How did this happen that it's just like almost the default way of thinking now for us? I know, obviously, like during lockdown, especially like when the whole Andrew Tate stuff was going around, I didn't know it got this big. But the fact that almost most guys now kind of believe in the red pill, or like have red pill like mindset or beliefs when it comes to relationships and women and stuff, it's kind of concerning. I gotta be honest, it's quite concerning. And I'll be honest, I'm not really surprised. The UK, we're not exactly. I've got some opinions about, you know, the UK and over here, but I don't think I feel like we're kind of stuck in the old days. I think we're stuck in like back in time or something. I don't feel like men in the UK really have evolved much. I feel like there's still very like these stock ways of viewing masculinity over here. Like, I don't think we've really evolved to being more fluid yet, especially for kind of older guys. But yeah, man, I think it is really concerning. I think especially for the fact that like it was like 60% of guys said they don't feel like they'll be able to be in a relationship because they'd have to change too much. What is wrong with you that you'd have to change so much? Like what's going on, guys? Are we all right? Is everything good? And also, I think it was 1 in 4 guys feel like they're unlovable, basically. Again, like, where does this come from? Like, this feeling of unworthiness, like, I'm not good enough. Like, again, like, you're speaking that into existence. And I think that's something that the red pill kind of teaches a lot of guys, that you don't have any internal worth. As a man, your only worth is by your actions, what you do, and like what you're able to perform, like how you're basically able to be useful, either like socially, where like someone can use you to climb the social ladder, or of course monetarily, like you've got a lot of money, you can pay for stuff XYZ. And this mindset already just strips us of our identity and like our ability just to be people and not just tools. And again, I think that's something that the red pill thrives on, like treating men as tools. But yeah,
guys, 48% of these men basically think that they'd have to change too much about themselves, meaning that they'd have to become good people, and that is too much for them to handle, and that's why they can't find love. The report mentions something called the man box, which I will read to you right now. In this report, being in the man box refers to those who most agree with and endorse rigid ideas about how men should be or behave. Conversely, men who are out of the man box are those who are least likely to endorse or be boxed in by rigid ideas of what it means to be a man.
Again, The red pill thrives on this idea of the man box. A real man does this, a real man doesn't do this. This is very restrictive, and it stops men from being able to literally experience life as the person they want to be. If you're constantly telling young men, especially that, you know, you can't do this, you can't do that, especially that the most common one you hear is like, as a man, you do not show emotion, you do not express yourself, you do not ask for help. What do you expect young men to do? Young men that don't know what they're doing, young men that are struggling to just suppress it. And when they do, are we surprised that, you know, the rates of male unaliving is so high? We're telling young men to not express themselves. We're telling young men to bury their emotions, and that, you know, showing your emotions is a sign of weakness. Showing your emotions is a sign that you're not a real man. Like, are we surprised that young men are taking, you know, unaliving themselves? Like, it's mad to me.
In the very handy infographic, which I will put here, one of the things that stuck out to me was the agreement with man box statements. So, for example, a gay guy is not a real man. 33% of the men surveyed in this report believe and agree that a gay guy is not a real man. 33%.
Guys, that's mad. That is mad. Listen, I do not fuck with homophobia. I don't. I've never understood it. I've never understood the idea of like this, like not liking someone because they want to sleep with someone that you don't want to sleep with. I've never understood that mindset, and to double down on that and say that person is less of a man because they want to sleep with this person that I don't want to sleep with. Let's make it make sense, guys. Like, what is all this policing? Again, the red pill itself, the rhetoric, is very much like police. It's like, you do this thing, you do that thing, you don't do this thing, you don't do that thing. If you do this thing, your punishment is you're not allowed to be in the group that we call men. Now you're a subsection of men. You're like a beta, or you're X, Y. It's all just some weird, stupid class system. It's pointless. It makes no sense. Like, who is anyone to decide how much of a man someone is based on the things that they do and they don't do? Like, it's so stupid to me. So stupid to me.
29% of the men surveyed agreed with the statement, a real man would never say no to sex.
What? Oh, hell no! Oh, hell no!
Yay! Yo, that's a crazy one. That is a crazy one, guys. Are we alright? Man, them, are we good? A real man never says no to the box. Are we crazy? Never. Never. Even if like it's all cracker down the road, and you're saying yeah because you're a real man. Yeah, dark. I don't even know how serious I can date some of these answers for. A real man never says no to the box. Then I guess I ain't a real man. You know, I've turned down quite a few ladies in my time. You know, what can I say? But yeah, that's actually crazy. That's actually crazy.
43% agree with the statement, if a guy has a girlfriend or wife, he deserves to know where she is all the time. 71%
all the time's crazy.
of the men surveyed in this report agreed with the statement, people take jokes about typical men and women's stereotypes too seriously these days.
Low-key, I agree with that one. I'm impartial to a good old, you know, kind of racist joke as long as it's creative. I'm impartial to like a, you know, a little sexist joke as long as it's creative, you know, as long as it's a bit, you know, a bit different, a bit edgy or something, or just like a basic normal one. But that's just me. No one's perfect, you know.
39% of the men surveyed agreed with the statement, men should figure out their personal problems on their own without asking for help.
Put your hands together, everybody. No. Yeah.
Again, man, here we go with this idea that a real man does everything by himself, a real man figures it out. With this lone wolf bullshit. I know this is backed by the red pill, because I've been involved in the red pill when I was younger. You got me. When I was like, what? 21, 22 or something, like just in my room, unemployed behavior. Your boy was on that red pill stuff. I was watching that stuff. I was watching all the feminists get owned, you know. That was me. But hey, yeah, that's not me anymore. I rebuke it. But yeah, on a serious note, I think a lot of this stuff, like it just really just shows how indoctrinated a lot of guys are. Guys don't even think they deserve basic human rights anymore. Like, a guy shouldn't have emotions, a guy shouldn't be able to express himself. And I'll be honest, a lot of it is due to, you know, not even just the red pill, a lot of it is like the patriarchy. I know people don't like that word, but it's a real thing. And the red pill just, you know, underpins that. It reinforces it, if anything, and makes people double down into those sort of ideas and behaviors. But honestly, I feel like most men don't actually believe half of the extreme stuff that the red pill, you know, says. I think they just repeat it because they don't really have anyone else guiding them. They don't really have an alternative. Like, a lot of guys have no father figure, no older brother, no community, just a For You page showing them, you know, alpha male stuff. So the algorithm becomes your mentor, becomes your philosopher. And before you know it, Andrew Tate is now your favorite philosopher. And I think this is why a lot of young men are struggling, because they're getting bad advice. They're getting advice from people that look good, that, you know, have the outward worldly stuff. Maybe they've got nice cars, they've got a nice lifestyle, but they have bad character. And a lot of guys, especially young guys, they're not able to tell the difference. And I'll be honest, I don't think most guys hate women, and I don't think most guys are evil. I think they're just misguided and they're like emotionally starving. And the internet is just feeding them junk food. And I know that we keep screaming at men to do better and be better, but no one really teaches them how to think better. And I think conversations like this, hopefully, is starting that conversation and starting that process. So on a serious note, if you're a young man watching this, I'm not trying to tell you what to believe. I'm not trying to be your dad or be your, you know, your idol. I'm not trying to tell you that you should believe what I believe in. I just want you to see a different perspective, Pierce-spective even. But yeah, but seriously, I'm telling you to think for yourself. Like, check your influences, check your emotions, check who you're allowing into your mind. And check whether your opinions actually come from your lived experiences or just from your TikTok feed, because there's a massive difference there. The moment that you stop thinking and become a consumer, someone else starts thinking for you. But yeah, this was just a quick one. If you do want to hear my opinions about the red pill in a bit more depth, you might like this video right here. See you in the next one. Peace.